Good night, sweet prince, I said disingenuously. Let me start by saying, if I had the chance to burn Planetside 1 devs back in the day when they came out, I would learn how to make my own napalm just for that one moment. I can't believe that game from 2003 had such terrible everything. But before we light those servers on fire, let's go over the things that made the game a bit, well, great. Let's of course start with my favorite thing, hacking. While I only managed to play the game when it came to free-to-play model, something like a year ago, I was still intrigued by this amazing ability to hack and utilize many things in enemy bases, and even hacking doors seemed fun. But I guess you already know that I have huge stiffy for vehicle hacking. Man, the thought of using enemy's tech as your own is just fascinating. Besides that, Planetside 1 featured pretty much what Planetside 2 has now, times 2 at least. Flying vehicle carrier called Lodestar and alien tech alone were great, but the grand game-breaking jewel of course were the big fucking mechs. The BFRs. While I agree that they were OP from what I hear, Planetside 2 barely has any vehicles in comparison. And what about continents? Man, the size sure was a bit smaller in the first game, but there were so many of them, as well as continental lattice. And this really needs to happen in Planetside 2 as well. Is it me, or does it seem that people back then actually put in some effort of making the game feel and look big? Now though, it seems that people in charge are intent of selling out as much as possible, with all the gun reskins, useless gimmicks like implants, and of all the shameless things, bounties. Seriously, Planetside 2 devs, look at what you are fucking doing, please. Still, Planetside 1, as I said, was fucking awful, and this is because of few amazingly idiotic things. Starting off with the weird minimal mouse movement angle. See, when you zoom in and you move your mouse very slightly, the game won't register that movement. But if you want to move your look in-game a little bit, you'll have to reach that minimal angle of movement in one update cycle. Honestly, this is the beginner's mistake when making any type of camera for any game. And also, this is why Planetside 1 sniping is shit. But speaking of sniping, you know how snipers work in Planetside 1? Well, first off, when you zoom in, you still have that cone of fire, which is okay, I guess. But the fucking kicker comes when you start moving your mouse. Your cone of fire increases as well. So technically, you have to predict where enemy goes to have maximum accuracy. So you can't really shoot any moving targets. Reliably, that is. This is some of the biggest backwards thinking in FPS game history. Who was the fucking idiot who came up with this idea? Man, I seriously want to know what were those devs thinking when making this. Another extremely idiotic thing in Planetside 1 is its respawning system. First off, since everyone in the game can soak up more bullets than max in Planetside 2, I suppose devs of Planetside 1 thought that putting a very long respawn timers would be a great idea. And better yet, if you're an uncertain player, well, example would be any new player who has no good weapons or tools, you'll die without killing anyone literally 96% of the time. And for dying very often, your respawn timer constantly gets increased by 5 seconds. Seriously, this is even more new player unfriendlier than the fucking construction system in Planetside 2. I get it that you should be focusing on not dying, or dying less at least, but when your enemies are wielding fucking jackhammers or miniguns, how are you supposed to survive? And best of all, get penalized for dying. For fuck's sakes. If any game dev is watching, this is not how to make a game. The thing with Planetside 1 is that it has a lot of content and great ideas. For that, I respect it. But the amount of backwards thinking for the whole FPS genre is so bad that I think that they are actually delaying the genre's evolution. And I repeat, this is a game from 2003, a game that came out when Counter-Strike 1.6 was released, and something like 1 year apart from Half-Life 2. But okay, there were plenty of other shooters shooters that came out at the same time, or before it. My favorite: Duke Nukem, Doom, Postal 2, Unreal 1 and 2, Battlefield 1942, several Medal of Honor games, and list goes on. There were so many good examples. Then why did devs think that making something different for Planetside 1 would be a great idea? And here I'm talking about the basic core gameplay. Oh well, I guess there's nothing we can do really now but to learn from their mistakes. So burn well, Planetside 1, burn well.